everyone, it's Catherine, and I thought we'd try a new game. This one's called Foretales. Yes, I want to start a new game. Mysterious patron. Wolpane needs money to help his father and the local miners. His friend Leo says there's someone in town with a very lucrative job. Welcome to Foretales, an adventure game where you progress by combining cards and exploring decks. This is Wolpane, our ticket to an easy life. One last job and our days of stealing apples from the market are behind us. So that's what you said last time. Who's this contact of yours? His name's Timothy. He says he has work for people like us. And you're sure he can pay? Because I could really do with money right now. Don't worry, promised a hefty reward. Should be more than enough to help your father and the miners with their strike. And for me to take an early retirement. It's just a little difficult to track down in town sometimes. Better ask around though.
He looks like a good place to start.
Good day to you, young bird. How can I be assistant? We're looking for someone by the name of Timothy. I see a very secretive fellow, is he? I think I heard something about him the other day, but sadly my memory isn't what it once was. Right, and what might jog your memory, I wonder? A bite to eat usually does the trick. About 5 apples or fruits should be sufficient. 5? That's enough to last a few days. Ignore my friend here. We'll come back with some food for you. We already have one. Just 4 to go. The typical region of the game is composed of 3 to 6 location cards placed on the board. You can learn more by hovering your cursor over the card. Sometimes clicking on the card will also trigger dialogue or a reaction from your characters. Try it out for yourself. Click on the left card with the beggar. He will remind you of what he wants. Can you spare a morsel of food for an old beggar? I wouldn't call 5 fruits a morsel. It's a demand for work for an old... If this is demanding work for an old man like me, I'd like to see you try it. Yeah, you'll get your food alright. You have 2 types of action cards at your disposal. Skill cards of your adventure, and consumable cards. Targets will often be location cards, but not always. When you hover over one of your cards, the possible targets are highlighted, along with hints as to what will happen if you play there. So pay attention to what is highlighted and where the hints appear. Conversely, if you place your cursor over elements of the board, it will highlight the actions cards you can play there. Take a moment to explore your current card and see if you can figure out a way to get enough food to proceed.
Look, I know it's the end of the world, but have a little compassion, Wolpane.
Better leave before we get caught. Oh no.
Killing watch guards might not be the smartest idea.
From now on, both sides will automatically attack the opponent directly opposite of them or to the left if no one is directly in front. Between each round of attack, you can play 1 card per adventure. Again, if you don't want to play cards, you can use the auto battle token. One of the hostiles you're facing has a special power. Special powers are signified by wooden tokens on the left side of the creature boards. Enemy powers can trigger during the negotiation phase or during combat. They may trigger once or every few rounds. If you hover over the creature, you'll see detailed description of its powers. Here's a quick breakdown of creature cards. The number in the red token at the bottom of the card represents health points. Bring it to 0 and the creature will be dead. The number next to the sword is the attack score. That's the number of health points removed every round to the creature directly opposite when the fists start to fly. The number on the left corner is the level of the creature. That's pretty important because it's the value removed from the enemy's morale when the creature is removed from combat, one way or another. In a confrontation, there will be 1 or 2 fighters per side, per call. Only the front creatures will take damage from the auto-battle phase, but it will take damage equal to the sum of the attack scores of the opposition. Creatures in the back can only be affected by action cards or after the creature in front of them has been defeated.
Those thugs better watch out. All right. Who wants a taste?
The enemy got moved from the confrontation. In most cases, this is trapped as level from the enemy's morale. Should the enemy morale reach 0, the remaining hostiles will flee. The level of an enemy is the number in the left corner of the card.
Yeah, now we're talking. All right, who wants a taste? Well, he knew the risks.
I think we've had enough food now. Let's see what this guy knows. Lead the way. One very important rule to remember, you can only play one card per location card on the board. Sometimes it will transform the target card into another location, but most of the time it will just consume it and travel to the next card. A standard used card from the board will go back to the bottom of the exploration deck, and once a slot is available, it will automatically be filled with the top card from the exploration deck. You can't run out of location cards to explore because the exploration deck only cycles. Okay. Well, gave him the food. Oh, thanks, bird. How about this Timothy chap? But of course, where are my manners? Oh, here, follow this path.
That should show the way. Heartwarming stuff.
Thanks for the tip, friend. Good day to you, bird. Well, what now? I suppose we should follow the old beggar's directions on that piece of paper. Sometimes we'll have to seek directions to progress in the story and reach new destinations. Check the descriptions on your cards. Piece of paper? Yes, that one.
Here comes trouble. magnificent
A heavily
stuff,
bandaged
Foretales.
figure stood alone in the alleyway. He looks like he was waiting for someone. As Volpane and Leo approached, the figure turned to greet them. Ah, Leo, you're finally here and you brought a pro. I'm a Shugo. But of course you are. We heard you have work. Do I ever? But before we get down to brass tacks, I always like to get an understanding of who it is I'm working with. We mean, I like a demonstration of value bring to this operation. Demonstration? Yes, you know, skills, my boys! Show me your skills! The pair looked at each other perplexed. What does he mean, skills? Skills in combat, sleight of hand, or maybe just a little shot from Leo. Something smells good. Leo. God, I'm hungry. Here to help a young bird down on his luck? Help with what? Now this could come in handy.
Something tells me these
There are
chaps aren't
hustles
here to
in
discuss
this block in this
pickpocketing
card. You won't be
techniques.
able to play any cards on this suspicious street until you get rid of these bandits. If you click on the token, you can see creatures forming the group and decide whether or not to engage or not. Most confrontations start with the negotiation phase. If you have the correct resources, you might be able to discard this threat without any violence. But if you don't absolutely need to play a card here, you may as well avoid any conflict and play on other cards available. Use one of your adventures down to the last skill card. Maybe you can use the rest deck to recover some? Since rest cards will have skill cards back, will give skill cards back to all adventurers, it's often a good idea to use actions from all your adventurers and not just one. If you spread the effort between them, they won't have to rest as often. What if I were to steal your purse right from under your nose? That would be impressive, especially as you just warned me that you're about to. Hold on a minute. The wry smile of Wolfgang produced a finely embroidered purse full of gold. The masked figure was taken aback. Very impressive indeed. There you go. All present and correct. I'll tell you what. Keep it. Consider it your first payment. Oh, thank you so much. Now then, perhaps you'd like to tell us what it was you needed. I would like for the two of you to acquire an item for me, an instrument in fact. A very rare and beautiful lyre that is currently in the possession of the esteemed Lady Cat. You mean the old bat that lives on the hill? I wouldn't call her that to your face, but yes, that's her. I'd like you to break into her manor, steal the lyre, and bring it back to me at the Holy Grove. The Holy Grove, I know the place. I'll get you there myself, Pain. Excellent, I shall leave you to it. I look forward to our next meeting. Alright, we've got a job to do. At long last. We can get straight to it if you think we're ready to go. We could spend more time on the streets to prepare. It's your call. Actually, what about a small nap before we set off? You read my mind. Remember, you only have a limited number of skill cards in your adventurer's decks. Spending too many of their skill cards will tire them out. If you want to recover some skill cards, you can use the rest cards on the right-hand side of the board. Each rest card has its own set of effects, and sometimes a price that you can decide to pay or not. Read them carefully to see what they cost. An uneventful stop. Recover up to 3 cards per adventure. I'm going to spend 2 food and recover 3 skill cards. Alright, let's just go first.
Come on, chop chop. Let's get back to it, shall we?
Recovered some skill cards and suffered no other consequences. I don't expect it to be that easy all the time. The next card in the deck will cost you food or health points. And the last card of the rest deck is always a game over, so be sure to check out how many times you can hope to rest in a region. Once you move on to the next region, the rest deck will be replaced with a new set of cards. If you have completed this region, you can either proceed to the next region, or you might want to spend some more time here, gathering resources and allies. Beware, consumables and resources are carried over from one region to the next. They are not carried over from one mission to the next. There's absolutely no need to hoard excessively.
Something to keep you going,
Right on, I'm starving.
Oh, those are quite delicious when sautéed with a little honey, and if... No, you're right. We don't have time. Friends of yours, Volpan? Perhaps you can grease the wheels of justice here, Volpan.
When you hover over cards at your disposal, you discover to get ways to get rid of some of your opponents. If you get rid of enough opponents, you'll bring the morale of the group down to 0 and the rest complete. If you use an aggressive card, the confrontation will automatically turn into a fight. But if you don't have any cards to play, or you don't want to play any cards, click on the automatic battle token to trigger the fight manually. One of your adventurers is hurt. If any of your adventurers reach 0 health points, the mission is lost and you'll have to replay it. You can use food or other consumables to heal. But maybe you should consider swapping positions of your adventurers during fights. At any time during the fight, you can swap 2 adventurers to try and optimize how damage is spread among them. Take this.
Oh, he felt that one.
Looks like a good spot to refill our canteen. Oh, shiny.
What the hell are you doing?
Gotta leave before we get caught. Oh no.
How are you going to get out of this one, Volpan? Yeah, now we're talking. Yeah, now we're talking.
Tell my mother I. Not my proudest moment. Where's my money? Guard!
Popular fella, aren't you, Volpan?
I don't have time. I'm starving. Just use a skip card, but the only effect was to move the location and if what you need for the mission is to reach a card somewhere in the exploration deck, moving forward is actually useful. Oh, hey, there, Skips. What do you want, mister? Alright. Got a street urchin. Hey, kid, shouldn't you be in school? Wait a minute, maybe I can be of help. Allies can be used on your adventure cards during fights. They will add their attack score to the attack of the adventurer for as long as they survive. Depending on the type of ally, they will position themselves in front or behind your adventurers. Front allies add a layer of protection and preserve your health, but may not survive the whole fight. Allies in the back will only serve as support to increase the attack, but they will most likely survive until the end of the confrontation. Whether they survive or not, allies used in combat are discarded at the end of the confrontation. Save on Twitch. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good day.